Well, hello, folks out there in YouTube land. Got a big show lined up for you, and let's get right on into it. All right, let's pull up the screen here. Yes, NIO. NIO has begun its comeback. I was wondering when this was going to happen, and it seems to be starting. Let's get into NIO today. All right, as we can see from the chart, this thing bounced off of, it actually hit down to 20 bucks. It got down to like 19.93 or something. But it's currently sitting at $26, so it's made about a, 30% correction back up to where I think it needs to be heading. I see this thing eventually getting up to in the $54 range, me personally, but that's me. But right now it's bouncing off of this, which I thought this was kind of ridiculous. But let's take a look at and see what's going on with it. It seems the biggest thing that's helping the market and helping everybody kind of come back appears to be the Rona. And as you know, I can't say the name of it or YouTube gets all upset and they do this.
Then as of this moment, they're on double secret probation.
That's right. I can't say that word or I'll get put on double secret probation. Maybe triple, I don't know. But anyway, as you can see, the cases have dropped quite a bit. Look at this chart. It's kind of amazing how it just went straight up. Now it's going straight down. Let's see. We've gone from, good grief, the height of it, some crazy number, like over 1 million cases. And now we're down to like 200,000 a day, 7-day average of 239. It was as much as 800, so that's a 75% drop, and I just hope it keeps dropping because I'm so sick and tired of this new version of the Rona. But I think this is helping the economy, and it's helping everybody's mood and the market sentiment a lot, because if we could get this out of the way, it would be just hugely helpful to the stock market and to the economy and to everybody's life. And I know we've still got inflation to deal with, interest rate increases and all of that. And fortunately, we got a good jobs report last week, which surprised everybody. Even I think the White House was shocked about that. But that's good for the economy to see that people are coming back, and actually the unemployment rate didn't drop, it went up, which that's good because that means people are getting off the sidelines. One of the reasons we have such a low unemployment rate is because so many people are sitting on the sidelines and not even looking for a job. Well, the fact that it went up, even though we added almost 500,000 jobs, tells me people are starting to come back into the workforce, which is what we need. Now with NIO, as you can see, these have been our deliveries the last 5 months. We had that real bad October, and Chucky came in here and kind of chopped our deliveries down to a ridiculous number. But if you'll remember, and I don't know why they didn't come out with this earlier, they were adding the ET7 line or getting it ready to go. And they also were doubling their ability to produce vehicles, and they had to shut down for a period of time for about 2 weeks in October. So that dropped this number way down. November, we corrected and went way back up, and we've been kind of hanging here. I wasn't expecting January to be great, and it wasn't, but it was okay. February, I expect this number to be lower. And before everybody attacks me and says, oh, you're talking negative, look, February is a special month in China. Because number one, you have less days. Number two, they have their New Year's holiday there, and they close down for about a week. That's just how it is there. So I would not be over expecting in February. I expect a lower number than this, probably in the 7 to 8 or 9 neighborhood, not above the 96.52. And then I think in March, we'll see a much better number. In April, I think we'll see a big number. But that's my opinion. One of the things that interests me a lot in NIO is when will they be profitable, that is huge. If NIO gets profitable, if you follow these high growth stocks, what happens is they get cash flow positive. Then at some point they get profitable. Well, when a high growth stock gets profitable, that changes the narrative big time, and you usually see a big advance in the stock price. That's been pretty typical. If you remember what happened to Tesla, I mean, it skyrocketed. Now, I don't expect it to skyrocket, but I do expect it to increase in a nice way. But here we've got the P&L. This was the third quarter. We don't have the fourth quarter yet. But understand they were all the way up to 1.5 billion, yet their loss was all the way to 153 million, which was actually higher than the first and second quarter with lower sales. And the reason this is happening, people don't need to panic about this. There's a reason. And it's two things. If you notice in that profit and loss statement, this is their general administrative. And this is the NIO houses, this is the battery swap construction. These are all the things that they're having to do to get their growth up, because this company's in high growth mode. It is not a mature company by any stretch. It's a babe. It's just a little tiny baby. and it's going to grow dramatically over the next 2 to 3 years, in my opinion. And this G&A has gone way up. Well, it had to in order to, you've got to build it. You can't just say, oh, well, sell a bunch of cars and then you don't have a place to sell them. You don't have a place for battery charging. You got to have all that infrastructure and all those people in place. And what'll happen, this number will plateau at some point, but the revenues will not. And their margins will go up. Right now, I think they're at about a 20% margin. I expect them to see 30% over the next couple of years as their economy of scales kick in. The other issue is R&D. Research and development has gone up dramatically because they had to design the ET7 and the ET5. I understand they're working on another model, and also they're working on autonomous driving, which is going to be hugely profitable because it's software. It's basically software as a service, which is crazy profitable after you get past the initial expense. And look, if you think you're going to be driving your own car 20 years from now, it will only be because of your choice, not because you don't have the option, because it's going to be, we're going to be using autonomous driving big time. And young people, they're not even going to know how to drive in about 20 years. But this number makes a lot of sense to me. Again, it will plateau, but the revenues will not. Economies of scale will kick in, and this company will get quite profitable. And what I've been doing with this stock is pretty clear. I've been buying this stock since 15 bucks, and I've got my long position in my regular account. I have another account, my Roth IRA, and if you don't have one, you should look into it, in my opinion, because it's very useful for taxes. And on top of that, it's much easier to swing trade in a Roth if you can just keep it in there. And there are great videos about Roth IRAs on YouTube. Check them out if you want to consider getting one. But anyway, I am swing trading this. I've already swing traded it twice. I like to buy below the $34 and about 60 cents. Bought here, sold up here, bought here. I've actually sold a big chunk of it here. I was waiting for it to come up, but they had the bad October numbers, so I went ahead and got rid of a chunk. And then as it dropped below here, I bought here, here, and here. Then I bought down here at 24, 22, and 20, which I thought, I couldn't believe it got that low. So when it got down here, I had to do this. That's right. I had to just scoop it up and had to gobble it up down at this 20, 22, and 24. And like I said, that dollar cost averaged my swing position. And when it comes up here, and I think it will hit eventually the $54 rate, right in that neighborhood, that's when I'm going to sell this swing trade. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if it hits that after the ET7 launch, which will be after March 28th. If that launch goes over well and we start seeing some big numbers in April, that wouldn't surprise me at all. I like this stock long term, but because there's so much volatility with it, I definitely want to make some money swing trading. I've done it twice. I'd like to do it a third time, and I'm going to continue to do that as long as it's successful. Now, I want to make sure I cover the risks involved with NIO. Remember, there is the possibility of a China crackdown. We've seen that with Didi, and we've seen other stocks in China have to deal with this, and it's a danger. There's also the Rona, and they're handling a little bit different in China. They're trying to stay to 0 cases. I don't know how that's going to be possible with this new version. So they've actually got some cities that are closed down, and that's going to probably affect deliveries for a while. So I'm not sure how they're going to play this out. This new version doesn't like to be shut down. So we'll see how that plays out. But these are legitimate risks. And if you're not comfortable owning a stock in China in another country and you're concerned, look, this may not be the stock for you, and that's okay. You don't have to buy every stock that's in the stock market. Buy the ones you like, that you're comfortable with, and do your own due diligence. And, once you get comfortable, buy it. But, you don't have to buy this one. The big reason I like NIO so much, I think they've got tremendous advantages. They've got the reduced payroll, and they'll always have that there. They've got lower raw materials costs because everything's coming out of China. They do have the battery swap credits. They've got government backing. They have no legacy roadblocks. Nobody's sitting there yelling at them saying, oh, well, it wasn't this way 30 years ago. We got to keep making ICE engines. Largest EV market in the world. That's huge. And they're already heading to Europe. As you know, eventually they'll be in the United States. And I think they're going to be a big player long term. Autonomous driving, which is going to be very profitable. If you don't think it is, ask Elon Musk how that's played out for him. There's no limit on license plates in China for a NEV. There is for ICE engines. So that's another advantage. And NIO could pay off their debt with the cash they have on hand. Their balance sheet is fantastic. Long term, in my opinion, I think this is what NIO is going to do. That's right. That's what I think it's going to do. Now realize that's my opinion. You may have a completely different one, and that's okay. We're allowed to disagree in this world. I'm sure I'll have some bears coming after me. Bulls will be mad I didn't say it was going to be higher. I mean, it is what it is. Those are my opinions. All right, folks, and that's NIO today, and it looks like they have begun their comeback, and hopefully that will continue for the entire market. I really think this Rona receding is going to be huge. I've been thinking maybe we might see a little recession, and it's still not impossible, but if this Rona will continue to go down, I think that we will be able to miss that. I hope. We'll see how it goes, but I do like this company long term. And if you like this content, be sure to hit that like button. Lets me know to continue to cover NIO. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. I would appreciate it. Give the channel an opportunity. And I hope you did like the content. And we'll see you next time on Mr. Frugal Investor.